A long-lost Stone Age megastructure has just been discovered in Germany.
And a huge wall of skulls built by the Aztecs was found in Mexico City.
More on that right now.
A 115-foot tall, 40-foot wide wooden rack adorned with hundreds of enemy and sacrificial skulls. That is what would have greeted you if you had been unlucky enough as to stumble into the Aztec Cathedral in Mexico City sometime between 1485 and 1502. It is no secret that the Aztecs are an incredibly mysterious civilization known for their advanced architectural feats and aggression. But it wasn't until the discovery of the skull rack back in 2015 that historians realized just how proud the civilization was of their violent ways. The skull rack was found in the corner of a chapel in the Aztec capital. While many of the skulls were likely obtained through human sacrifice, others had a different origin. Historians believe that certain skulls, the ones bleached white for preservation, belonged to enemy warriors who were captured during battles and then killed. The combination of sacrificial and enemy skulls has led historians to believe that the rack is symbolic of the two most important aspects of Aztec life: spirituality and war.
News about a huge ancient wall discovered recently just came out in February. Off the coast of Germany, a long-lost Stone Age megastructure was spotted, and it may be the oldest in Europe discovered to date. In 2021, scientists on a research vessel found something surprising off Germany's Baltic coast, a submerged stretch of stones, and after checking it out, they think this could be Europe's oldest known man-made megastructure, which they've named Blinkerwall. The wall is believed to have been built by Stone Age hunters using it to catch animals. Blinkerwall is made up of over 1,300 stones and about 300 larger boulders, more than half a mile along the seafloor, and is nearly 70 feet underwater in the Bay of Mecklenburg, standing around 1.5 feet. It's believed to have been built around 10,000 years ago. The wall was likely built to guide and trap reindeer, which tend to follow straight paths in the landscape. When it was built, Blinkerwall would have been on dry land, running alongside a lake where reindeer gathered. The idea was to create an artificial bottlenecking, possibly with a second wall, or using the lakeshore to direct the animals towards the hunters. The crazy part is the wall was discovered purely by accident. Students were on a training exercise using sonar to map the seafloor about 6 miles off the German coast when they noticed a straight line of objects which turned out to be rocks. Other archaeologists arrived and determined that the wall was indeed man-made. It's the first Stone Age hunting structure that's ever been found in the Baltic Sea region.
Stonehenge is nothing compared to Superhenge. I mean, it's in the name. Just 3.2 kilometers or 2 miles away from the elusive Stonehenge lies Superhenge. Now, because of their close proximity and the similarity of the structures, including the fact that they are both comprised of the same stones, it is believed that they might be connected, but as we know nothing about how either of them came to be, there is really no way of knowing for sure. The two are estimated to have been built around the same time, somewhere between 3100 and 1600 BC, but unlike Stonehenge, which was discovered back in the 1620s, Superhenge, which is 15 times the size of Stonehenge, wasn't discovered until 2015, because the monument had somehow become buried underground along the Durrington Walls in Great Britain. Seeing as there are no records of either Stone nor Superhenge, and the fact that despite being discovered 400 years ago, we still have no idea what Stonehenge was used for, we have absolutely no clue what the purpose of Superhenge might be. But theories do include a burial monument, a meeting place for kings, some kind of astronomical computer, or even a way to communicate with other worldly beings. But I want to know, what do you think it is? Down below.
Nan Madol. This place is incredibly cool because it's an ancient city built on about 100 artificial islands connected by canals off the coast of Pohnpei Island in Micronesia. It's sometimes called the Venice of the Pacific. The city was constructed around the 12th century, with islands being made by stacking huge stones to create walls and platforms. Nan Madol had temples, tombs, and living quarters for the rulers and priests of the time. The city was designed to impress and control, with the ruling class living on the islands and the common people living on the mainland. One of the most impressive structures in Nan Madol is Nandawas, a royal mortuary built with walls 25 feet high. The city started to decline around the 16th century, and by the time the Europeans arrived in the 1800s, Nan Madol was abandoned and overgrown, but it looks really pretty now.
1,420 years ago, an unknown ancient civilization managed to do something we couldn't even do today. Sometime between 536 and 600 AD, this mystery civilization managed to create a megastructure made out of magnetic stones that weigh about 131 tons each. For reference, modern-day earth-moving equipment can move between 7 to 120 tons, so 131 is really out of the question. So how the hell did whoever brought the stones of Puma Punku bring them up the Andes Mountains in Bolivia? Well, no one knows. We also have no idea how they managed to carve the stones into such precise shapes. It's an engineering mystery. And not only do we not know how Puma Punku was built, we also have no idea why, although theories suggest that the structures were used as spiritual and ritual centers. And of course there is the theory that the civilization who built Puma Punku were massive, highly intelligent humanoid beings that were often mistaken for aliens but actually originated on Earth before either leaving this planet or going extinct. But that one doesn't really fly in the scientific community. However, it's my personal favorite.
Found near the city of Cajamarca in northern Peru is a very fascinating archaeological site called Cumbe Mayo. It is this intricate system of ancient stone canals, considered one of the world's oldest irrigation systems, dating back over 3,000 years. The canals stretch over 5.5 miles. There was advanced engineering skills at play here for sure. What baffles researchers is the precision of these canals. Considering the challenging terrain of the Andes, the canals were designed with such accuracy that even today they still carry water from the Atlantic side of the Andes to the Pacific. You also have the stone forest, which is quite a sight. These are tall, upright limestone pillars, some reaching up to 60 feet high. There are also petroglyphs and carvings on some of the rocks at Cumbe Mayo depicting animals, geometric shapes, and human figures.
20 famous massive stone sculptures carved into granite located in Japan with no known origin. So how did these monoliths come to be? Out of the 20 large stones, one stands out, Masuda no Inafune, which translates to the rock ship of Medusa. The structure is 11 meters long, 8 meters wide, and just below 5 meters high, and it weighs around 800 tons. No one knows why, when, or who built the structures found in the village of Asuka located in the Takachi district of Japan, and no one knows how they were made either. While some historians have put forth the theory that the stones might have been created by Buddhists in the year 538 due to the close proximity of the monuments to many Buddhist shrines and temples, the fact that the structures do not exhibit any Buddhist markers make the theory highly debated. As for now, the monoliths of Asuka remain pretty much a complete mystery, but I'm starting to think civilizations back in the day were just a hell of a lot stronger than civilizations today, because we couldn't do it.
Marcahuasi is a little different from everything else on this list in that it's a natural formation. Or is it? High in the Andes Mountains near Lima, Peru is the plateau surrounded by a collection of massive granite rock formations. The location is famous for the mysterious shapes resembling human faces and animals carved into the rocks. The star of the show here is the assortment of large stone structures, some reaching up to 20 feet in height, sculpted apparently by natural weathering, but some of these formations look a lot like anthropomorphic figures, like faces, animals, even depictions of ancient deities. The interpretation of these shapes varies. Some think these were intentionally sculpted by an ancient advanced civilization, others say it's just pareidolia that we're looking at here, but a lot of scientists believe that the anthropomorphic shapes on Marcahuasi's rocks formed out of erosion processes, with wind and water sculpting the granite over time. But I don't know, looking at some of these formations, they look pretty uncanny to me. It's hard to believe that someone didn't intentionally do this.
Proof of aliens in the form of 24 coffin-shaped boxes discovered in a hillside cave in Saqqara located near the Great Pyramid of Giza. The boxes are solid Aswan granite, and they have been cut flawlessly, a feat not only impressive in ancient times but equally as impressive today, because simply put, we do not have the technology to make such precision cuts in such a hard piece of stone. Not only that, but each box weighs around 100 tons, and there are 24 of them. As of right now, no one knows why the boxes exist, what's inside of them, or the significance of there being 24 of them. The main theory of the boxes is, of course, that they were created by aliens. And then to go off of that theory, it's believed that the Egyptians built the structure around it where the boxes are now. At this point, I'm honestly tempted to believe this theory. Also, I'm incredibly curious to find out what's inside of these boxes, so if we do, expect a video on that.
Göbekli Tepe is an ancient archaeological site located in southeastern Turkey. It's considered one of the oldest known monumental structures in the entire world, dating back to around 9600 BC, which makes it over 11,000 years old. What's fascinating about Göbekli Tepe is that it was built by hunter-gatherer societies long before the advent of agriculture or settled communities. The site has a bunch of large, circular and oval-shaped enclosures made of massive stone pillars. These pillars, some of which weigh several tons, are intricately carved with animals like lions and bulls, snakes, birds. Archaeologists believe that the place operated as a ceremonial or religious center rather than a place for people to actually live. It's thought that ancient people gathered here for rituals, probably involving feasting, dancing, and honoring their ancestors or gods. The place was deliberately buried around 8000 BC, or at least parts of it anyway, and possibly this was a ritual or to mark the end of its use. This turned out to be perfect though, because the burial ended up preserving this site remarkably well until it was rediscovered in 1994. Maybe one day this building will be an ancient archaeological site.
Stay tuned.